This week on Wildcat News, we recap Dancing Through History.
We get advice on how to avoid college debt.
And we get an inside look of what it's like to be a teacher's kid. All these stories and more coming up because Wildcat News starts now. Good morning, West Johnston. I'm Anastasia Loneski.
And I'm Eric Bean. Last week, the dance department presented Dancing Through History. Brody Hall gives us a recap of the events.
The past several weeks, the dance department collaborated to produce the Dancing Through History show, which was performed last week. Director Paige Durden explains the composition.
The show highlighted different cultures and different decades. Dance 2 does culture projects. They take the culture and turn it into a dance, like more so the crowd can understand it. If you're in dance 3 or 4, you have to choreograph on a group of people. So like this show we did decades. So like each person was assigned a decade, so you had to make your dance to that decade. Dance special topics, which are like higher than dance 4, choreographs for dance 1 to expose the new dancers. This is like their first experience on a stage.
All dancers were required to know their choreography by the end of the 9-week rehearsal period.
The biggest challenge was getting everybody prepared and getting everybody to listen and follow directions.
My role as a director is to make sure that everyone has their stuff, everyone is here, that I have to make all the programs, you have to assign people to certain things backstage, and like if they're not being quiet backstage, you get to yell at them, and you have to announce the show, and you're just more of a lead role in the show.
I think the directors had some challenges, but overall they did very good.
Throughout the show, there were technical difficulties that the directors and dancers had to deal with.
We just sit backstage and hope that they figure out what it is, and if not, we just continue to the next dance. We got to keep going with the show. I mean, the crowd's waiting.
Even though we had technical difficulties, it did go well.
I'm Brody Hall, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Brody. Anna, do you happen to have about $50,000 just laying around anywhere?
Not the last time I checked.
Well, neither do most upperclassmen, and that's why college tuition is a major issue. Katherine Serrell reports.
When students begin to pay for college, many choose to take out student loans. According to thecollegesolution.com, a mere 7% of students at public colleges and universities graduate without debt. Mary Cosin, Director of Financial Aid at Campbell University, explains how serious student loan debt can be.
Student loan debt can be serious. I've seen it range anywhere from $300 a month to $1,000 a month. It's very serious if you don't pay it back. It can destroy your credit, they can take your income tax refund check, so it's very serious.
While these facts may seem grim, Cosin tells how to avoid college debt and about alternative methods to borrowing money.
Obviously savings, working summer jobs, saving as much money as you possibly can, scholarships, can't stress that enough. Everywhere and anywhere that you can find scholarships. High school guidance offices sometimes will have lists of scholarships that students aren't even aware of.
Sheila Sheets tells how school counselors can help.
All of the school counselors have a College Board scholarship handbook. These are for the students. We let the students borrow them overnight or for the weekend. We have the spreadsheet on our school website. It's under Student Services. There's lots of other places to look for scholarships, and we have that in the senior bulletin that all the seniors receive as well. And there's lots of other scholarship sites that students can look at as well.
My one biggest piece of advice is you never pay to get free money. Only go to scholarship searches that are free. Go to your guidance office, they can direct you. But that is the way to go. That's the best way to keep your loan debt down.
I'm Katherine Serrell, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Katherine.
Now over to Jamie Snover with The Rundown.
I'm Jamie Snover, and welcome to The Rundown. Here's the last week's scores. Thursday, JV football lost 52-13, and Friday, varsity football lost 42-20 against Garner. As the fall season comes to a close, ladies tennis, boys soccer, cross country, volleyball, and football end. Here are our top 5 picks for the best plays of the season.
At number 5, Kaylee Eubanks sets up Abby Barber for a spike, making the score 2-1 against Knightdale. For number 4, Quentin Brown makes a tackle on a kickoff return during the homecoming game against Clayton. At number 3, Austin Stevens scores a goal off Brendan Boyd's free kick in the game against Roseville. For number 2, DeAndre Blevins returns a kick for a 95-yard touchdown against Clayton. Finally, at number 1, Tony Mack makes a touchdown in a game against South Johnston.
Nik Reasor catches up with Kieran Miller to discuss how he started playing hockey.
Some play baseball, some play football. Kieran Miller plays hockey. He tells us how he got into the sport and his challenges.
Well, my family is from the north. I kind of grew up around it, and it was just the most fun thing I could think of doing growing up. And I tried football and baseball and all those other sports, and it was fun, but I didn't have that full love of the sport like I do for hockey. It's tough just because it's not as popular, and growing up down here, no one's really it's cold out, let's go play hockey. I'd say if you're trying to get into it, go for it, because you don't know if you're going to like it or not unless you try it. And if you're trying to get into it, there's leagues around. There's one in Garner, one in Raleigh, one in Cary. Everywhere you go, there's basically at least some small opportunity to get into the sport, and it's definitely worth it.
Miller's first sport was rollerblading, which led to a passion for ice hockey. He tells us about his first experience with the sport.
First game, we went out there, and I was pretty bad, honestly, because going from roller to ice, it's a lot different, less friction. So I was falling around a lot. I still do, but I was falling around a lot more. And but I scored, and when I scored a goal, I was running around all happy, and I got to the bench. My coach came, gave me a little pat on the head, congratulations, and he hit me. I lost my balance, and I face planted on the bench.
Miller tells how the sport impacted his life.
Hockey's changed my life. I've made a lot of lifelong friends, and it's a good sport to if you learn leadership, just like any sport. You learn leadership, you learn camaraderie, but it's changed my life because you make a lot of friends, you learn life skills, and it's just a good time.
I'm Nik Reasor, Wildcat News.
Varsity football is currently second in the Greater Neuse River Conference. Girls tennis placed second with a 15-3 standing. Varsity soccer ended their season 7-7 in the conference. Congratulations to varsity volleyball for winning the GNRC title, and congratulations to Jackie Coker and Rufus Brown for leading the cross-country team. JV football is away on Thursday, and varsity football is home on Friday. Come out and support the seniors for senior night this Friday at 7. I'm Jamie Snover, and that's your week's rundown.
Thanks, Jamie.
There are many stereotypes associated with being a teacher's kid. Ray Kemp gives us an inside look at what it's really like.
Parents do all types of jobs. Some are lawyers, some are even teachers. Vienna Prendergrass explains what it's like to be a teacher's kid.
Having a teacher that works here at this school makes it harder to talk to my friends without them seeing, hey, there's your dad over there walking. I don't think I do better. I think I do the same when my dad works here. The best part about my dad working here is knowing the school better than most people who go here, and I have certain privileges that other kids don't have. I know most of the teachers. If I need help, they don't think of me as a troubled kid. They automatically will help me with stuff. They don't say anything about my dad being here, but they do say, do you hate that your dad does work here? The worst part about my dad working here is that everybody knows me, so if I do one wrong thing, they automatically think that they could tell my dad and that I get in trouble for it. Being a parent that works here isn't the worst thing in life, like other people would put it.
Jamie Staten also has a parent that works here. He gives his opinion on what it's like.
How it feels to have a parent that works at the same school I go to is pretty cool. Teachers aggravate you a little bit, but for the most part, it's pretty easy. I feel like I do it just a little bit better because I know that she rides me on my back just a little bit and she won't stay off my case. Some of the benefits of her working here is I can get out of trouble sometimes depending on how bad it is. Some of the cons of her working here is she knows I'm in trouble before I know I'm in trouble. I prefer her to work here because she helps me out just a little bit with homework and stuff. If I'm out of school, she can pick it up homework or work in class.
I'm Ray Kemp, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Ray.
Well, that's all for us this week. If you have any comments, questions, or story leads, email us at wjstudentmedia@gmail.com or send us a tweet at wjstudentmedia.
And if you want to watch Wildcat News at home, on the go, or catch up on some of our past episodes, go to wjstudentmedia.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel.